Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Wednesday, April 24th, 2019. Brad Shepard of the Oh You Didn't Know podcast commented on possible plans for Sasha Banks by saying, Sasha is scheduled to return to SmackDown Live before Money in the Bank. Whether they have something for her or not is still clear. If they don't have something for her, it's still possible they could give her a bit more time to cool off. Brad Shepard continued on by saying, I am told that Jason Jordan is working as a catalyst between her and the rest of WWE management. I'm also told she has too much beef to go back to Raw this soon. Shepard also commented on Daniel Bryan's injury by saying, so you may have heard the report that Daniel Bryan has an injury. He hasn't been on TV. This speculation is intentionally being kept very quiet at a specific person's request, and unfortunately I can't go into any further detail except to say that he's injured. It's not his head, it's not overly serious, but it is bad enough for him to take some time off. Thanks to ringsidenews.com for the quotes. At the end of last night's episode of SmackDown Live, Kevin Owens turned heel on WWE Champion Kofi Kingston. During a post-match segment, Owens ended up giving Xavier Woods a powerbomb on the ring apron. Also, there was a report going around on various dirt sheet websites that there was a fan that apparently died in the front row during the beginning of last night's episode of SmackDown Live. Now, apparently there is an update to this whole situation. People close to the fan that apparently died during last night's episode of SmackDown Live tweeted on Twitter that he is in the hospital and doing fine. So you have one side of the hand saying that he's dead, the other side saying that he's still alive. So that's the way it's looking right now. There's no official confirmation on his well-being or anything at the moment, but if there is any official confirmation, I will let you know, so stay tuned to Jammin John's Wrestling News for any further updates on that story. As previously noted, Bryan Alvarez of F4WOnline.com noted that this week's Monday Night Raw episode script was finished just minutes before the show went on the air. Here are a few more details about Raw's last-minute decision-making. According to WrestlingNews.co, the decision to move Cesaro to Raw was done within the past 48 hours prior to the show. The opening segment was likely changed because Triple H announced the 2 triple threat matches on Raw, done on the spot despite the fact that the matches were already announced on WWE's website earlier in the day. And, according to Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com, there was a directive from Vince McMahon to have Ricochet and Aleister Black be pushed strong and not lose any matches. The decision to have Ricochet lose to Robert Roode was reportedly the day of the show by Vince. Also, Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com confirmed speculation that a factor in Andrade being moved back to SmackDown Live was so he'd be on the same brand with girlfriend Charlotte Flair. Meltzer said, the idea is to keep the couples together, and there was a lot of negativity about Charlotte and Andrade being split up, that it was a bad book. A lot of people were upset that they would do that, so they undid it. They were not split up. But to do that, they had to, if Zelina Vega was going to stay with Andrade, then the decision was that she was, then that meant that Aleister Black also had to go to SmackDown. With multiple names going to SmackDown, including Jinder Mahal, it's believed that Cesaro was moved to Raw to help balance the rosters. Thanks to 411mania.com for the quote. Brad Shepard of the Oh You Didn't Know podcast also commented on how Bray Wyatt's new persona was allegedly in danger of being dropped right away. Shepard said, I was told that WWE considered dropping the gimmick altogether after feedback on Tuesday morning from bigwig shareholders and sponsors voicing their opinion on it. Apparently they didn't like the whole cult leader of children vibe. I was also told that there were plenty of people who loved it, and as we saw on SmackDown Live, the vignette aired again, so it looks like WWE is moving forward with the idea. Interestingly enough, just in case it was scrapped, the very initial idea was thrown around, which included putting Nikki Cross and Lars Sullivan with Bray as the start of a new Wyatt family. So it does look like they're moving forward with the idea of Firefly Funhouse. Thanks to ringsidenews.com for the quotes. And finally, here on Jammin John's Wrestling News, during his recent podcast, Sean X-Pac Waltman commented on CM Punk's apparent appearance at an indie wrestling show over the weekend. On If It Was Really Punk, X-Pac said, I mean, it was really weird, and I'm assuming it was him because I haven't heard anyone credible say otherwise. On the run-in, X-Pac said, I know there was a special occasion as far as the venue, like it was the last time wrestling was going to be at that venue and a lot of people got their start there or whatever, but I'm just trying to figure out, what was the purpose of that? Other than, hey, let's have something fun, I'll put a mask on and get in the ring and do a little something. No one knew. There was no reaction. And it was like, what the hell is going on here? From what I could tell by watching, no one was like, oh my god, it's Punk under the mask. They were like, who's that thin dude in black? On if he sees Punk returning to the ring, X-Pac said, maybe. Here's the thing. I said this, I don't know, for a while. I haven't said it in a while because the subject hasn't come up really as much because he's doubled down on, I'm never coming back to wrestling. I mean, he said that over and over again, and history tells me that eventually he will return to wrestling. A lot of people in entertainment that mean it just as much as he does eventually come back. I'm talking about, look at musical acts for instance. The Eagles, when hell freezes over, right? Legit. They meant it as much as he does. The Misfits, Glenn Danzig's War, never going to reunite with Jerry Only and the rest of the Misfits. They've had several shows. It just goes to show you, and trust me, I know Glenn Danzig and no one is as stubborn as that guy. So trust me, he will be back. I promise you at some point CM Punk will be back involved in wrestling. And no one should go, oh see we told you, because it's his life. And at the time he means it when he says I'm never coming back. It's just that history shows that everyone else that meant it to ends up coming back. And I can honestly see him showing up in AEW. That could be like this huge surprise they're waiting to drop with the announcement of a TV deal. And on how Punk signing with AEW could change things, X-Pac said, I don't really know. It'll be a big deal, that's all I know. It'll be a big deal if he comes back in that situation. Thanks to 411mania.com for the quotes. That is your news for Wednesday, April 24th, 2019. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin' John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin' John. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin' John's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion, want to get your next big event out, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/jamminjohn. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/jamminjohn. This is Jammin' John saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.